Today is a very sad day. Today we say goodbye to this Will I Ever Become a Musician vlog series. Only 44 videos old, covering 3 years in the life of an aspiring musician. Back then he told me, Andreas, I would like to become a musician. He didn't know how, he didn't know if it was even possible. But he made it his first priority, despite the uncertainties and despite the what ifs. He said, I'm 24 years old. Is it too late? He said, will I ever find the money to pay for a teacher? And will I ever find the time to practice? He said, I like oatmeal, but maybe not that much. He quit his job and left his apartment. And after some time staying at his parents', he went to a folk high school to study the piano. They came to know him as a hard worker, as a loyal friend, and as someone who never shied away from embellishing his own self-analysis. Regardless, he struggled to find his footing, and after half a year, he moved to a new city. Here, he found an amazing teacher and began dreaming about formal education. But that was only until anxiety found him, and anxiety became his downfall. Let's all cherish the good moments we had together. Like, share and subscribe. Thank you. Hey, I'm back. New space, new ideas and a new music path. The WeBam vlog series is dead. My hopes and dreams of becoming a professional pianist are dead. But my hopes and dreams have resurrected in the form of love for songwriting and beats making and creating music of all kinds. But let's backtrack to the beginning of this vlog series. One of my main purposes with sharing this journey was to inspire you to take action on your music dreams by showing you how someone with no talent who started out quite late, and by late I mean in his early 20s, through hard work and dedication could still develop enough to become a professional musician and play with those who started out early. Fast forward 3 years, a lot of practice time, a lot of reflection and a lot of new experiences. I am now realizing that this is not what I want to be doing. I have come to admit that spending this much time practicing only to enter a life with a constantly changing schedule and late night gigs and uncertainty, it's just not my thing. And I think the hesitation and anxiety I felt towards my practicing for the past year stems from this doubt towards this kind of future and the regrets it might hold for me. For the most part, I'm a really rigid person. I rely a lot on early bedtimes and routines, and I thrive best when things happen under my conditions, in my tempo, and that's just not how the music world works outside my doorstep. This is why I've decided to do something else and why this vlog series is coming to an end. The days of transparency, honesty and vulnerability are over. But how does one summarize 3 years, 43 videos and a roller coaster of emotions just into one single video? I don't think I can properly do that. A lot of questions have come up throughout these 3 years, and I still don't think I have the answers to all of them. Will I ever become a musician? Well, I now wake up every morning thinking about music, and I go to bed every night still thinking about music. But does that make me a musician? I still don't make a dime off of it, but would that deny me the permission to at least feel like I'm a musician? I have no formal education, but does that matter? I created an EP, I also just released an album, I made a vlog series about it all. Well, I don't know, what do you think? Either way, I'm so grateful that I managed to begin this vlogging journey. Watching these videos back and seeing my younger self being this excited about music and standing up for what he believed in, it really warms my heart and makes me surprisingly proud of myself. In a way, it has been really therapeutic to create this open diary, as it has weirdly enough, helped me to just feel understood and accepted. And I've been trying to avoid the typical pitfall of making myself look awesome on social media, but it is hard to talk about my failures, and I did feel a lot of resistance towards filming myself during these low points. In fact, the way I've made these vlogs doesn't sit well with what people want to consume. It's not explosive and attention grabbing. It's just slow progression and long repetitive practice clips, because I wanted to show you what it's truly like to try to become a musician. And so the vlog series never found an audience above 60 subscribers, and as time went by I tried to make the videos simpler and more digestible, but it didn't increase the traction by much. And now, as I'm changing trajectory, I'm at a point where the vlog series doesn't make sense anymore, and I'm actually a little sad that these videos will probably never find their way to the audience they were meant to help. Going forward, I'm preparing for major changes. I'm no longer taking piano lessons, and I didn't for the entirety of the second half of last year. I found that for me not to feel anxiety towards these lessons, I would have to be well prepared and well rehearsed, which often meant that I would spend so much energy forcing myself to practice. Now, that is not necessarily a bad thing if you want to get good at an instrument, but I realized that my anxiety had gotten to a point where I wasn't benefiting from the stress it provided. I had high ambitions when it came to the piano, but my passion wasn't tied to the piano alone. I wanted to be creative, untangled, explorative and childish, and play all of the instruments. But my piano progression was too slow to truly allow the time for it. Now, that's not to say that I regret the amount of time I spent practicing, because I don't. I now have a great foundation to work off of, and I have a way better understanding of how the piano and music works in general. However, that does mean that I will not be applying for music conservatory like I told you I would. It's just too much practice for too long, and I would still be battling anxiety, I would still not be guaranteed a job, and I would still not be the creative person I want to be. These thoughts did not happen overnight, and at first I perceived myself as an absolute failure for not being able to pull through. I thought about how I had let down potential future viewers of this series because of how I couldn't provide the proof that hard work beats talent. For a while I really struggled to find something to attach my identity to, but later on I started acknowledging it for what it was. I still wanted to do music, it was just a redirection of attention. For the past half a year I've tried to amass as much money as possible, and I've spent it on moving to this new place, as well as buying a new computer for music producing. It hasn't arrived yet though. And also, with the help of a dear friend of mine, we're working on some acoustic panels to do some acoustic treatment to this room. I want to commit to writing music. I want to commit to YouTube. If the thing I want to do in music now is ever meant to have an audience, I think that audience will show up on YouTube. I can't tell you the exact format of these future videos, as I think it will be something that develops over time, and it's probably not going to be just one format. But I do want some level of cohesion on the channel, and I feel like I've settled on a brand which I'm really excited about. Instead of the old "will I ever become a musician" brand, I'm now changing it to creative exploration with the encouragement for everyone to create regardless of the level, and to create regardless of the expectations. This is something I constantly have to reiterate to myself to avoid the typical pitfall of not daring to start something, let alone sharing it, because there's a great likelihood of it not turning out as greatly as one imagined. But I think you should do it anyway, because what would happen if you did it anyway? Just think about it. I believe the brand is specific enough for people to know what to expect, but also broad enough for me to experiment and do all sorts of stuff. But at the very least, at the very core of all of this, you should expect more music from me. But I'm also concerned with how I'm going to make a living off of this. Because making a living off of this simply means that I can do more of it, and I can provide more music, and I can provide more content. So I've set up a Patreon. You becoming a patron simply means that by donating a small amount of money each month, you will get access to all of the music I've already made, as well as all of the music I'll ever make in the future, for as long as you stay a patron. And yes, you can download in a lossless format, and yes, you can put it on your favorite Spotify playlist and listen to it whenever you feel like it. Bold move for someone who just started out, don't you think? Well, here's the thing. The money you donate will be reinvested back into the channel to create better music. So in the end, that should serve you too. And the quicker this process happens, the faster I can put out new and better stuff. And as a content creator, that's all I want. I just want to play your songs and sleep tight. Now, if that's not your thing, but you want to help out anyway, you can always just watch the video and leave a comment. If you don't know what to write, just write, "Get Andreas to 1000 subs." And that is greatly appreciated as well. Before I end this video, I just want to say thank you for connecting with me. I deeply appreciate it. And a quick shout out to Diolo2 Asiatic as well as Lil Rock 02. I've used your comments as inspiration for the titles for 2 of the tracks on the new album. Thank you for commenting. Vlog series has come to an end. New content coming from now on. Music available on Patreon. Link below. Thank you for watching.